channel, and today I'm actually going to be doing another video basically about graduate school, where I'm going to be going to, and basically like my admissions process. And I also want to talk about like this certain school that I applied to, and it's been a lot of controversy with this school. But so I finished my undergrad at A&T, which was a HBCU, and I majored in fashion merchandising design with a minor in marketing. But apparently when I checked, I guess we're getting a certificate in entrepreneurship, so that works too, but my minor was marketing. So let's get started in this video. And if you're a new person that wants to subscribe to my channel, you can subscribe and be a part of the goddess community. And then also you can like and comment and also subscribe. So let's get into it right now. So basically for graduate school, I had started this process kind of like last summer. I was looking at a list of like fashion schools to actually go to that's more, you know, fashion based, that kind of focus more on fashion. It has probably like a good curriculum for a master's program. So I was doing tons of research. I had talked to a few representatives. I emailed some representatives because I was looking at like rankings basically about like how many fashion schools there were, whether they were at like just at another four-year university or at an art and design school. So that's what I did. So basically I think I wanted to apply to FIT, but they had global fashion management, and then they had cosmetics and fragrance, marketing and management. And I looked at the requirements, and I'm kind of sad because I didn't get to apply there, even though I really wanted to, because they require you to have 3 years of corporate industry experience, which I necessarily did not have. And they said that having an internship or being a sales associate in retail does not count. So I was like, well, I take it off my list. That's neither here nor there. So that was kind of sad, because had that not been a requirement, I would have applied anyway. But I also came across Florida State University, because they had like a master's program in like textiles and apparel entrepreneurship, and also like a product development entrepreneurship type program. And I think I applied to Scad, Savannah College of Art and Design. And I was thinking about UNCG because I had already talked to a representative last summer, and I had asked him like tons of questions. Like some questions he didn't really necessarily know about. So that's kind of like a hit or miss. Basically with UNCG's retail studies master's program, they have the thesis or the non-thesis route. So if you take the non-thesis route, you basically taking your classes like online, compared to if you have to take if you want to take the thesis route, you're basically going to have to go like stay on campus or live like off campus, like in an apartment and stuff, because you actually have to go to your classes. So that was kind of because usually I look at the curriculum guide to see like what classes I would have to take, and I was looking at it, and then I was thinking to myself like, the classes were kind of boring. Like it didn't seem like interesting enough for me, because like some of that stuff is kind of like what I already took. So basically I just crossed them off my list. I didn't want to take classes online if I took the non-thesis route, because of basically I just did not want to be bored sitting in my room just doing homework in my room, taking classes and stuff. And my mom wanted me to do that, and I said no. I want to be in the classroom, meeting industry professionals, getting to know like new students, networking, joining clubs, organizations, like, because I'm trying to get out here this time. And I was just like, no, like I want to be hands-on, I want to be in the class, I want to have like that one-on-one conversation. Like I don't necessarily like online like that because I don't like staying at home. I don't like being at home all day as it is since I'm a homebody. So I'd rather just be out and about and need to change the scenery. So that's what I did. Also, I also did apply to NC State because initially I wanted to apply to NYU because they have a fashion and luxury MBA program. I was going to apply to that, but then I stopped because my advisor/professor had told me about NC State's global luxury and fashion, global luxury and management program, which is basically like you would take your classes on NC State's campus in the fall, and then in the springtime you would go to Paris, since that's a more luxury field, and you basically getting exposed to like basically like the luxury industry as a whole, since they don't focus on just one segment, they focus on all sectors of the luxury industry. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and plus it's like more kind of so like a dual degree program, so it's very competitive. I had applied, so basically I had applied, it was $75 to apply. I had got everything, my transcripts, my resume, my statement of purpose, like transcript, everything. I was trying to do everything perfectly and turn it in by the early action deadline, so that's what I did. So basically with NC State, I think like a week later, it was like a Sunday night, I had got an email from the admissions recruiter, and she had sent an email saying that they wanted to schedule like an interview. So I was like, thank God. So the interview was on December 3rd, and so I decided to schedule it because I didn't want to push it back knowing I was going to have to work over the holidays. So that's what I did. So my mom had ended up picking me up, and we had to go to Raleigh basically, because I have an aunt that lives in Raleigh, so we stayed with her that night. So when I woke up, they were basically gonna drop me off at the interview. So my mom took me to NC State campus. It's big, you get lost in it, and it's a lot of stuff because NC State is building like new buildings all the time, and it's very big to get lost in. That's why a lot of people take the bus. You cannot walk all the way up onto the other side of campus knowing you got another class all the way on the other side. So basically I had the interview. The interview went well. They literally had like papers. They had like 10 questions. They were asking me like on 2 pieces of papers, and I was answering them the best of my ability because the interview was not bad. I was being myself and I was being confident, and I had also asked them questions about their program, and I thought that everything went, great. And they were saying like I should get a decision around like the holidays since it was gonna be winter break, and they said if not, I would have to hear back in January. So I'm like, okay, cool. So it's winter break. It's already the end of fall semester. I'm waiting and trying to anticipate. I'm just like so like it was just stuck in my head because I was dying to get into this program. And I just be doing a lot of research. Like I did a lot of research on their website about the program, and not to mention like I went on Facebook and I just did some random stuff. I said NC State Global Luxury Management Program. I put that in, and then I heard there was this one girl, because she already goes to NC State, that she had already gotten into the program, and I checked the date and it said December 19th, and I'm like, oh my God. And that started to worry me because it's competitive and they only choose like 48 people, which is a cohort. So 48 people, and they said the max is like 50. So that's when I started to get real worried. And I kid you not, when the spring semester hit and it was like the last day of January, I was at the gym and I had got an email. I checked my email. I had got an email from NC State, and she basically said in the email that they cannot offer me a spot at this time, but they were going to offer me a spot on the wait list. So that really pained me. Like, that really did pain me a lot, because I busted my whole butt paying for the application and going through the whole process, especially the interview. When I told my mom, she was not too happy about that, because she was begging me to get in. Like, she felt like they were looking at me as like an afterthought, like I was just, a second thought just to put on a wait list. And this is my first time ever being on a wait list. So, and they saying like they were still taking applications, and I know it's like almost June. So their deadline is June 1st, because they were still taking applications. I don't know if anybody else was still applying, but their deadline is June 1st. And after June 1st, they just gonna go back through basically a list of people. I don't know if they're gonna take people off the wait list. I don't know if I'm gonna be taken off the wait list. But I was really anticipating getting that program, because that's all I thought about. That's all I talked to my advisor/professor about, because she put in like a really good word. Plus, she went to NC State. She got all 3 of her degrees from NC State, her bachelor's, master's, and PhD, and she knows the director, especially for the program that I was applying to, because she knew her and they went to school together. So it's crazy. They usually say it's about who you know, but child, I was just like, at this point, since school was basically over, I was just like, I'm gonna let it go and let this whole, process take its course. Because when I basically had to reserve a spot on the wait list, so I had to call the assistant recruiter. So I called her and I said, can I be put on the wait list? And that was the same day I had got the email saying to call to be placed on the wait list. So that's what I did. So I asked her, I was like, is there any information I need to like submit, any additional information? And she was like, no, I didn't have to submit anything. So basically you just playing the waiting game. So I've been waiting, and hopefully I'm just gonna see what's gonna happen by the time next month hits, because it's almost June. So I'm curious as to like what they're gonna tell me. It's probably not gonna matter at this point. But yes, I did apply to NC State. That was a whole story about my process with NC State. I applied to them when I was in high school, and I got deferred plus rejected. So maybe NC State is probably not for me. Maybe that's what God is trying to tell me, like I can find another good school somewhere else. But we'll see what happens with that process. Since I got waitlisted, I had applied to 2 other schools. I applied to Lim College, that's in New York City, which is a fashion business school. I really liked the program. I had already, last summer, I had talked to the director for the graduate program, and it's so funny because in the fall when I had CAD, because I had computer-aided design, the same guy that I talked to over the summer, he came to our class. Like, I was like, this is a small world, because like I was not expecting to have him come to our class, and he was basically explaining in college and like the internships, like different kind of internships that students have gotten. He was talking about the 3 different master's programs they had, like fashion marketing, global fashion management, I think, because it's something similar to that. And I think the other one was more like retail, merchandising, and management. I think it's a long one, but it had to do something with merchandising and management. So I think it was fashion, merchandising, and retail management. There we go. So I had applied to that option, and I have it like recorded on the day that they sent me an email, like in the beginning of March, because I was like, this shouldn't take too I applied to them, and when I had submitted my information, I had to pick like a time, like the best time to do an interview. So I did a phone call interview on a Thursday before spring break. And then like I think Monday is when I actually got a final decision, which was like really quick, and I have that recorded, and I'm gonna put that in this video so you can basically see, because I was nervous. It just said that my status hadn't updated, so I'm gonna put the insertion in there. Okay, moment of truth for oh my god. Oh my god. I see confetti. Where's my thing at? Oh my god. Oh my god. I got admitted. Yo, this is an accomplishment. Oh my god, yo. Hold on. It says, Dear Zaria Foster, congratulations. You have been admitted to the MPS Fashion, Merchandise, and Retail Management program at Lim College. Oh my effing god, y'all. It's been real out here. Yay. This is great. This is really great. I know they had sent me something in the mail when I had came home on Friday. My mom was like, you got something from LN? You mean LIN? You mean Lim College? But they just sent me something. It had my name on it and stuff. But oh my god. 2 colleges I got admitted to. This is great. I'm scared to tell my mom though. But we gonna see what happens. Oh my god. This is great. But anyway, I applied to Lim College, and then the other one that I applied to was, of course, Scad, Savannah College of Art and Design. At first I wanted to go to the Savannah one. I didn't want to necessarily stay with my aunt, but since, tuition is super high at that institution, my mom preferred it was going to be best for me to stay in Atlanta. Since my aunt lived in Atlanta, it was going to be more convenient for me. So that's what I did, since it was going to be convenient. So I had to tell necessarily my advisor to actually switch me to the Atlanta campus location. That's what she did. But let me back this up. So basically, before all that happened, I applied to Scad. I remember hearing about Scad when I was in middle school, because my best friend told me about it. So I've been hearing about that for a long time. So plus they were up in the rankings when I was searching about fashion schools. So I'm just there for fashion. I'm there to get my foot in the door. I applied to their luxury and fashion management Masters of Fine Arts program, because I'm trying to get as much knowledge and skill as possible. So basically my admissions process, let me check. I'm gonna tell you my admissions process and what I had to submit. So basically I had to submit my unofficial transcript, which was quick and easy. I just basically had to save it as a PDF and just submit it that way. So my Scad portal had to update. The next one I had to do was recommendations. I would love to get the recommendations out the way, because I'll be trying to get stuff out the way ASAP. We only had to have 2 letters of recommendation, so I got one from my professor/advisor, because I talked to her a lot, go to her office most of the time. Sometimes when I can have a good conversation with her, and I was like, I know she can put a good word in for me, especially based on my work ethic. And I had asked a recommendation from my academic coach, because I used to be in the sisters program, and I still was talking to her from time to time, even though I pretty much stopped being in the sisters program, because I just felt like it wasn't for me. Everybody had their own cliques and stuff, and I just felt left out, if that makes sense. So it was good that she was still asking me what did I want to do after I graduated. So she also vouched for me about what I wanted to do, and she put in a good word for me for another recommendation. So I submitted those. Statement of purpose. I use my NC State statement of purpose for Scad. So like I basically switched around like the name, because like NC State and Scad's program is practically similar to each other. It's basically what I'm saying, except for the part, they go to Paris and stuff, but they were basically like the same degree program. So I just switched those stuff around, and there was like a certain word limit, of course, for Scad. So that's what I did. I just made revisions to my original one, and then I submitted that statement of purpose. The only thing I left last was my portfolio. So basically, for the portfolio, that took me some time because I did that on Photoshop. I decided to do a brand analysis on Burberry, so I was like, let me look up some good information, cite my sources as I go. I did this on Photoshop, stuff kept messing up. I was trying to fix my grammatical errors and stuff, and things kept, like, Photoshop takes up a lot of space, especially when you're trying to do like each page. Then I had to go back, and when it was kind of sort of messed up, because I kept seeing grammatical errors even though I had initially fixed them, I basically had to use PowerPoint. So that took me a few days, and I ended up submitting that portfolio, thank God. And I had to go through like the slide room they had, and I had to pay a $10 fee. I was like, Lord Jesus, I already had to pay a $50 application to try to apply to Scad. So that's what I basically did. So anyway, I had submitted all my stuff, and then they were saying like I was gonna be waiting like 1 to 3 weeks. So I was like, okay, because I had got an email from my admissions advisor, my advisor basically. She was basically saying like I should get like a decision from the admissions committee in like 1 to 3 weeks. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be playing the waiting game. Man, I kid you not. I was in class. I was in one of my FCS classes, and it was like a Wednesday. It was around 10 o'clock. I was checking my emails. I was on my phone. I had got like one email, and I checked my inbox, and it said congratulations, and it said like congratulations that I had got accepted into the luxury and fashion management program. And I was like, oh my God, like it was just the greatest feeling in the world. Plus they gave me like 2 scholarships because they had sent me my acceptance packet, which was going to the house. So I was like, wow, they gave me like $13,000 in scholarships, which I thought was pretty good. And the good news is, since I was going to be a graduate student, I could just stay with my aunt, and my scholarship money wouldn't be affected. So I was like, well, this is good news that I was actually getting money, because I never have gotten that much money from anywhere. Like Lim College gave me money, but they only gave me $1,500. Like $1,500 you can literally put in your bank account, but you talking about $13,000, like that really helps out a bit towards tuition. So it was like a blessing to get into Scad, and I had a feeling like I was confident I was going to get into that institution since it's an art and design school. Like, what art and design school isn't expensive? But that was basically my process. It really wasn't that much to do. So on to what was going on Twitter, because Scad was trending like not too long ago about some email they sent out to students, and the way that the administration went about it was just so unprofessional. I'm just like, why would you put that out there? Basically, they were saying something along the lines about if students end up taking a break from school, they tend to most likely drop out, and they were saying they didn't want that, and the way they were saying in that email was ridiculous to me. I'm like, why are you telling a whole bunch of students that? Like, you don't understand everybody's situation, what people are going through. Like, people literally are taking out so many loans at the school. Like, my best advice for undergrad would have been that you need to go to a college that's more so in state because it's cheaper. If they have your program, apply for that and go to that school, because chances are you're probably going to get more money in state going to a 4-year university or a community college, whatever the case may be. But do not sell yourself short. It makes more sense if you would have got like a full ride scholarship to Scad, then you can go. But I mean, depending on people's predicament, like, they got a huge scholarship from Scad, you can still go, you can still apply to their scholarships because they got plenty. I'm gonna make a note of this. For any high school person that is applying to an art and design school, I suggest you apply to the Dr. Pepper scholarship, which is $100,000. I advise you to look up that one because that really helps pay tuition. And I don't know if anybody ever told you this, if you're a minority, for minority high school students out there, please apply to the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship. I did not know about this till like my senior year, and this black lady had told us when I was in my AP English class. Please apply to the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship whenever you get that chance, because I'm telling you, like, the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship will cover your undergraduate program for all 4 years, and if you're trying to get your master's or PhD, that scholarship will cover that too. So that is really beneficial to apply for. I don't know if anybody ever told y'all that about that scholarship program, but I suggest you look that up. I might put a link in the description box, that way, you know, whenever they have like open up like their scholarships again, please apply to the big ones, because some of these are pretty easy to apply to, so that's what I advise you to do. But anyway, the way Scad went about their whole thing is really ridiculous. I was seeing so much about saying don't go to that school, it's not worth it, and I feel like I see where they're coming from, because like, if you do not have the funds to go to Scad and you don't have like $40,000 to keep spending every year, and you taking out big loans and having this huge debt that you gonna have to pay off for the rest of your life, please don't do it. I advise you not to apply for an art and design school unless they give you tons of scholarship money or give you a full ride. That's one thing. But the other thing, I suggest you apply and stay, save the trouble, save the money. Please save the money, because that would just save you so much time. And I'm basically going to Scad because, you know, it's a master's program, I'm doing a 2-year program, and I had applied to a scholarship that my academic coach had sent me, and I found out like a few weeks ago that I'm a semi-finalist, so I had to turn in additional information, so I'm still waiting back for that. Hopefully I get it, because it will cover a majority of the cost. So it's just better to not try to take out so much loans. I feel like the administration should be better, but the fact that I had heard that the administration is being told to say all these great things about Scad is what's really getting to me, because like, I understand you're supposed to be competitive with other art and design schools, but to sit there and really put this whole facade, like, and this girl was talking about, like, they're not really there for the students, they're just there to put out, you know, how they have this great interior design, how great the school is kind of bad. Like, you're supposed to kind of sort of brag about the school if you work there, but if you just telling people about like, oh, Scad is great, you should go here, you shouldn't go to any other art and design school, that's just really funny to me. As for the president, a lot of people are pissed at her because apparently from an article, of course, because I've seen it before, it says that she makes more money than any other president at a university, at an art and design school, or at any university, which I thought was really odd. And I was thinking to myself, like, this lady is not she used to be a teacher, but she is not no art and design person. I just feel like she was basically just profiting off all this money to make herself look good. Sorry, not sorry about it, but like, I just feel like karma is going to continue to come back around, and it will come up in very mysterious ways. You will be surprised, and it's even more crazy that the fact that they had to close the Hong Kong location, even though the people who are going to that location are getting so many opportunities, and it's kind of sad. But I mean, hey, like, I wouldn't be surprised. I just wouldn't be surprised if something else crazy had happened, because there's plenty of stuff that has happened. Like, Scad isn't really the only art and design school that has done this. Like, plenty of universities, like, the administration can be effed up people that you have to literally constantly deal with, because students have to raise their concerns to get their attention, and then it's like they don't listen. And I really wish they would, because if they don't listen, I mean, you're just gonna get a bad reputation out of it. So, to be honest, I'm going to Scad for me. I don't want to deal with the administration, okay? Like, I'm not trying to deal with that. I really don't. I really do care about students' mental health and stuff, because we all had to go through it. So, I just, for us that's actually going to Scad, we need to take really big precaution. We need to see how we like it first. But I'm there for my education. I'm there to get networking. I'm there to get my foot in the door. I'm trying to be not just an entrepreneur, a CEO in the making. Like, I'm trying to have my own business. I don't want to work for a company for the rest of my life. That's not what I'm trying to do. So I'm just trying to make it out here alive. So I am going to Scad, Atlanta location in the fall. I'm not sure if we're gonna still be online or not, but it would be nice to get the exposure, be on campus and meet new people. I already had talked to some people, because we have a group chat, so it makes sense. I am possibly gonna want to have my own entrepreneur type videos, because I want to have my own business. I want to have my own storefront, not my online store as of now. I want to have my own storefront. I'm still developing my business plan, because I've been working on it, but I want to have my own clothing store, more likely a women's clothing store. So I really want to get off the ground. I want to get as much advice as possible and as much help and resources as possible, just to get my business off the ground in the future. Hopefully, because everything is a process. So I know a few people had asked me, like, what is holding you back from having a business? Nothing is holding me back. I just decided to plan accordingly, because I don't want to jump into something that I'm not ready for. Like, I'm not going to jump into it and then I don't execute it properly. Like, things take time to have a business and building a business, because it's a process and you have to do stuff one step at a time. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. I'm sorry about it. Not sorry about it. So, I mean, like, people got to understand that from my perspective, especially being a fashion student and having a minor in marketing stuff, everything is going to take time, and people need to understand and realize that having your own business is going to take time. It's just not going to happen overnight. You're not going to get followers overnight. It's a process, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So anyway, that's neither here nor there, but I will be having some sort of entrepreneur video, because I am dying to do that. And hopefully when I get to Scad, that I will hopefully do like a little tour, probably see what I'm doing in class, hopefully, because I love to be hands-on. So that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, that's all I have for for you. So basically, like I said, if you want to be part of the Goddess community, click to subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you think about this video, and I will see you goddesses in the next video. Peace. Bye.
I am the topic of conversation. It's a celebration. Let's toast to the fact that I moved out my mama basement to a condo downtown. Cause it's all about location. I sit and drink wine and watch